Somebody sent me a pie chart, a thought frequency pie chart for men and women from America some weeks ago now. And this basically is a chart that tells you what men and women think about most of the time. So here's the female one. 7/8 of the pie is devoted to thinking about the relationship. And that's fairly true. Women think about the relationship and relationships in their lives most of the time. And the rest of the pie is split up into a little segment on sex, a little one on aging, one on having to pee, and the last is things we shouldn't have eaten. Now, this is not that far from the truth. Of course, it's a bit of fun, but it's not that far from the truth. The male thought frequency pie chart is actually split into 3. Sport, career, and sex. And there's a itty-bitty, tiny, weeny little segment on the relationship. A much bigger one on aging, much bigger one on going bald, and the biggest of the little ones is on strange ear and nose hair growth. Now, given that that's a basis of some of the differences between us and what we spend our time thinking about, it's no wonder that we have miscommunication. Let me share with you a couple of main differences. Men have tremendous ability for spatial orientation. They have CAD-CAM systems in their heads. On the whole, women don't. Now, of course, there are always exceptions, but on the whole, women don't. And this comes into play and creates stress when you are driving in the car and the woman is navigating and the man is driving. Are you familiar with this scene? Here is the woman, desperately trying to catch the name of the street while you drive by at the speed of light. Finally, she catches one, and she goes... Because it's almost impossible for a woman to be going, now the car's going this way, but the street's going this way. And you know, we don't do it just to annoy you guys. Serious. I'm sure a lot of men think we do, but it's just something we can't handle. And then the thing that annoys us is when you sit there, and we've been really trying hard for 25 minutes, okay? Trying really hard. You go, oh, give it to me. We hand it over and you go, there. You know, they're just kind of global differences. Fellas, why don't you drive, you navigate, let us talk. See, I think that's a good little way of reducing stress under those situations. Now, there's another, have you ever done this? Brian and I go driving in the car, and I mean, I've taught myself to navigate, right? And I still have to do this with my back to you because I can't reverse it in my mind. We'll be driving along, and I'll go, go left. And he goes, left. And I say, yes, left. He goes, left. By now I'm annoyed. I'm going, yes, I said left. And he goes, that's right. Why not that way? You knew I meant that way. Now, I don't know how many of you have been through this, but honest engine, I just don't even know it's not the left. Doesn't even enter my mind. So understand also, if you're in real estate or if you're in any business where you need to sell things to women by direction, do not say it's northeast. Some bloke said that to me once, you know, it faces northeast, and I'm going... I've got no idea. Now, there are only little things, but fellas, you need to understand it. Women inherently know how other women think. But for the ladies, it's important to understand how the men think. Because, you see, men in business, when they communicate, keep their heads very still. And if we were paying really good attention and we could see it on the video, almost everybody, particularly the men, as soon as I freeze and keep my head still and talk quite fast, the men instantly look up, pay incredible attention, and realize that I'm saying something important. Of it with the animation and the movement and the stuff like that, that's kind of, they sort of go, oh, that's an interesting piece of fluff. And, you know, I don't get upset by it, but it's true. Ladies, if you really want to get a man to believe what you're saying and think that you have credibility and that you are an intelligent person, what's more, then when you speak to them about selling something, you have to stay very still with your head and you have to speak quite fast. And be very visual as you do it, because visual people need you to see all the men are frozen again. They're simply going, this is important. So I have to remember, whenever I say anything important, I have to stop, keep still, and say it like that and repeat it, as opposed to the animated way, because the animated way is the way of the female much more often. But let's go back for a minute to another difference. Women seem to have a tremendous capacity to go left brain, right brain, left brain, right brain, which means women can do about 27, stop it. Women can do about 27 things. I said, stop it. Women can be doing 27 things. Once more, I'll tell you, Father. We can be watching a report, reading a book, writing 4 novels, eating and watching the children all at the same time. That makes us tremendous organisers, because we multi-track. Men, on the other hand, have a tremendous capacity to be either left brain or right brain, which means they have a phenomenal ability to focus, which means when they turn on the TV, they go deaf. And, you know, the worst weapon ever given to men on the planet was the remote control. You blokes need to know you're giving us epileptic fits by going... And of course, women, because we multitask, we never watch TV in isolation. We'll sit there reading a book, writing a report, and watching the TV. And you go, click, 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 and we go, I was watching that. No, you weren't. Yes, I was. And she can tell you what was on the TV. So you see, if you want to reduce stress in that situation, what you've got to do, fellas, is give her the remote control. Always a popular suggestion. The men go, what? Or only use it when she's out of the room. Now, of course, this multi-tracking is very important when you're selling to a woman. And vice versa, ladies, because we can really do 3 things. We can be answering the telephone, carrying on a sales dialogue, and doing something else. And the bloke's sitting there not knowing what to focus on. And his thought pattern keeps getting interrupted because you're moving around and you're doing different things. And fellas, you go to sell something to a woman, you go, focus. And she's going, oh, yeah, look, I just popped that off. Would you mind waiting a minute? I'll just go. Oh, the photocopy's just gone. Oh, there's the microwave as well. Oh, well, women can do that. And the bloke's sitting there going, does she want this? See, you've got to understand, women can do a few things at once and still be paying good attention. And ladies, when you're selling to a man, remember to keep still and say that this is a very important point for you to remember. Every time you get to something really important, freeze. Freeze and speak a bit faster. So that's just a couple of the differences there, but let's go a bit further.